Benvenuti to the best, Tony Lenko, Dr. Tony Lenko. It's a real honor to have you here, all the way from the Gold Coast in Australia. And you lived and you live and you understand automatically Europe and the continent of Australia. Born and raised in Europe, your career, your professional one, and your family life now, since many years on the continent of Australia. Many passion. One is with education and the positioning of blockchain, and that's the potential you outline now to us. Grazie.
Thank you very much. Very good, very good. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for this introduction. I do plan to say a few more words. I think it's very important. So I'll just say I'm also very experienced in Asian part of the planet. So over the last 20, it's true that first 30 years of my life I spent around these countries, and 21 years in Australia, and also very experienced in dealing with China, Philippines, New Zealand, Indonesia. Traveled many times in these countries, so I can say I know the culture and business dealings very good, and happy to share my experience later. Otherwise, my career started really in Europe in engineering. After moving to Australia, I changed my perspective, and I end up in a very different environment, working recruitment, managing my own company in recruitment, headhunting, placement of mostly engineers from Europe and Asia, in Australia and New Zealand. Thanks for COVID, I end up in blockchain in March 2020. Very good for some of us. I had the opportunity, a few months of time, and I decided to step back into engineering career. Today I'm here as industry partner. I collaborate with Elizabeth from Griffith University. We work on a few research projects. I collaborate with a few students, one here as well. For me, the collaboration with academia is really also the exchanging of exactly what we do today. So I need lots of exchanging information, motivation, and this is, I believe, also the big plus for university. That's why I put the logo there. So where I'm coming from, this is my executive team. This is who we are behind Advanced Digital Solutions. And really what we do is we're developing solutions on the blockchain, digital solutions on the blockchain, and specifically we are focused, and also my personal career, very much focused in document management on a blockchain. So this is the field what we're gonna talk today. My intention is actually to share with you the experience, the knowledge I have in this field, mostly from the point of view of real use case, because I actually come from, in the next slide I'll show you my problem space, where I'm coming from, and this is also why I have this paper here. And this is the whole point of everything what really I do in over the last 3 years. And maybe interesting also from Sinan, from your first presentation, I like it very much as industry partner, just to imagine really what does it mean being in innovation. So in the company like this, for you to imagine, we actually didn't earn any money yet. We spent 12 months of hard work, and we won't be commercially successful for another probably 3 to 6 months. And we still keep going. So try to imagine. This is probably very interesting for all of you. So this is true story, and I like to share it as it is. So actually, from money point of view, I'm actually super poor over the last 12 months, because we actually invest our own money, and this is self-funded venture. So it's Australian company. There is no venture capitalist yet. It's just all of us dedicated, actually from very different countries. So all 4 of us there, everyone is born in different country. And all the team developers, they're based in 3 different countries. So it's very interesting, really global. We call it decentralized environment, where it come from. So shortly about the problem space, I like to show this. This is my mom's paper certificate after she finished vocational education, long time ago, 1949. Oh, 7. What is the year? I don't know. It's something. And Anyone understand this? Why fix it if it's not broken? Probably Martin. I learned this in 2002 in Australia. I actually think it's not something that we understand in Europe, but actually I learned in Australia, because in Europe I'm really mix of personalities and identities. I feel European, I feel Australian, I learned in Australia, why fix it if it's not broken, if it's something still out there. And I relate this to the paper certificates, the document. This is a real case of a vocational college in Australia. This document was sent less than 2 months ago, and it was sent like this on these three. This is actually completely serious, real case on paper. I have no idea how your universities are dealing with certificates. This is not a diploma, it's not a final degree, it's just a statement of attainment for a student that he completed one specific course. It's interesting because I ask student, what do you do with this? And he say, I'll do this. I throw it in the rubbish. I should have a bin now here and throw it there. And for me, especially when we speak about the future and sustainability, look at all this paper. Look at this cardboard. And all this was actually communicated to the student just to say, oh, yes, you did something with signature. And I compare this to my mom 73 years ago, so not much difference. It's just at that time they did a stamp, they did a signature here. But in reality, I don't know. What do you think? From my point of view, not much of the difference. It's 70 years. So I guess it's a bit of tendency. Why fix it if it's not broken? It's still okay. So this is the biggest vocational college in Australia. I don't know how it's the biggest. It's a government owned. I believe they have overall in Australia 50,000 students per year. So you can imagine how much paper is here behind this. And this is the problem we are solving, just simply to explain. And I have two more cases. The next one will be, it's in German. I actually I put it there in German because many of you understand German. So this was 2019, 4 years ago. For anyone, Martin, for you and Elizabeth, it's the problem about nurses coming from Bosnia to work in Germany. And actually, there was also a TV show in Germany. I don't know if you guys saw that, but you can buy a nursing degree in Bosnia for 1,000 euro. Not even 17 days. You can do it in 3-4 days. Super simple. That's another example of the problem space we have. And this one is from our neighborhood, Indonesia. I'm not sure if you know this, but super fresh case. It's just September this year. So we have a 3-year, someone who's practicing as a medical doctor for 3 years. Just doing a real job, a serious real job. He never studied medicine, but he was actually able to spend 3 years working as a medical doctor. Very interesting, right? Yeah, we don't know. Actually, when you go to the medical field, my intention now, really what I want to show you today is the importance of certain documents, the paper management, document management. I will focus in my presentation really educational documents. So in general, us as with EDS, we work in document management, but we focused in this first year really mostly education institutions. So we're helping the problem with record management, certificates, diplomas, and also some other documents. And the problem space is this. This is, you can imagine, this is not fun. This is actually not even funny because, Surabaya, you have lots of Australians living there. And there is potentially someone was actually involved in that. And this situation also absolutely not funny. And my intention actually is because I actually speak Bosnian as well. So I do have mission actually to try to change this also in Bosnia. And if anyone working with certain institution that would be interested in Germany, I'm very, very keen to actually to communicate this. So how we solve this in future, I will show in next few slides. This is just something in between. Anyone saw this door before? Yes? So it just happened yesterday. I like this door. It's super interesting. Looks very firm, right? So I don't know, I just related, oh, this is, we speak about trust, we speak about security inside. I just got this idea. This is just to share with you. The trust is the key that opened the door for us to a new era of document management. And what I do, I work in a blockchain backed platform that will actually hand this key for the future. What is happening today with document management, you probably all know DocuSign. Do you use that in Europe? DocuSign, right? And a few other platforms like this. I can share with you that DocuSign is not 100% secure. Any corporate lawyer will know that. You can sign DocuSign. You can have a contract, for example, for buying a house. Before we spoke about that, you can sign at the last page, but you can make changes on page 10 or 11. Not sure if you know, corporate lawyers, they don't want to talk about this. I learned this in Australia. Yeah, they asking, please bring the solution, because it's actually a super serious situation. Yeah. So I'll explain in the next 3 slides. I'll explain what's the solution, and I changed 2 slides just inspired by everyone that's here today and in these 3 days. So I wanted to say and present a basic definition of blockchain. I think it's super useful for all of us because not many of you experience blockchain so much. So I hope these slides are shared later, and I think it's very useful for many of you. So shortly say, I like this definition. Blockchain is a decentralized and distributed digital ledger that records transactions across multiple computers in a way that ensures security, transparency, and immutability. To understand this, I have few definitions, just the words. Decentralization, what does it mean? Elizabeth spoke before about centralized systems. If you store this file, for example, that I have now with this presentation, is stored on one computer. It's just there, nowhere else. The real decentralization, if somewhere in the future, or I could actually do it now, it simply means that it's stored over multiple computers. Not on one, but many of them. Big blockchains, they have thousands of computers. Small blockchains, they have maybe 10, 20. So also to understand blockchain, we have many blockchains on the planet now. At the moment, probably around 10,000 chains, or probably more. You all probably know the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was the first use case 15 years ago. But actually, when we speak now of Bitcoin or blockchain, there is no correlation. It's just Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency is using blockchain as a platform. That's it. So completely different. And for us now, there is no tokenization. There is no cryptocurrencies in our solutions. What does it mean, distributed ledger? It simply means that every node or every computer that's connected to a network is a copy of entire ledger. How we secure the connection? I'll show. Actually, there is these chains here. You can imagine everything connected in a chain. So this is where we're coming from, blockchain. So transactions are encrypted, and each block contains a hash of the previous block, creating a secure and tamper-evident chain. What comes out of this is immutability. Because of this linkage of blocks and consensus mechanism, we make this data trustworthy and resistant to fraud. And I like this representation. It's kind of just a chain. If you think of a chain, all interconnected data with the hash, this is the whole point of blockchain. We can maybe, with the questions later, we can touch some other area. The next step is really what we do with the document management, and this is kind of very good representation. So if you have a blockchain here, just imagine now interconnected chains, and we're solving a problem of university issuing a certificate or maybe internship or any document. So issuer, in this case, I'll say is a university, and university can issue this. They will issue also in the future. You guys issue a paper diploma, and at the same time, you can also issue a digital copy. You put this on the blockchain. Holder is a student. Student get a digital copy of certificate. Verifier is someone who's verifying. So maybe employer, company, credentials for all sorts of things. So like in case of this student, this is actually carpentry student. And this document really means that he qualified for white card, to get a white card. And it's actually interesting waste of resources. This document means nothing because white card is different in Australia. And actually, really, they just throw this away. It's absolute waste. And white card means that you have that you did training to work in the construction industry. All this so simply means now this document could be simply, we call it minted. It's stored, it's issued on a blockchain in a digital form. And how you check this? On your phone digitally. You can check it on the computer, you can check it on your phone. And yeah, that's actually a very simplified solution, and I believe everyone can understand this. So even outside the education industry, if you imagine any other document, or yesterday we spoke about environmental recording, for example, some very important measurements in the environment, we can use this exact solution, exactly the same. Yes. Oh. Okay, that's cool. That's great. So the one more thing super important for anyone to understand, it's smart contract. You probably heard smart contract, and it sounds very complicated, or you're just confused, or you're not sure. But actually, if you read this first sentence and if you keep repeat a few times, it's super simple. So smart contract is a self-executing code-based agreement that runs on a blockchain. And you can actually, all of you, you can imagine contract as any other contract. You have a rental contract. So future of rental contract can be on a blockchain. And it simply means it's automated, it automatically verifies and fosters some contract without the need of third party. This is something that Dominic pointed today from our blockchain discussion. So future of buying, it's not future actually, it's already happening in some countries. So I'll also point this out. The adoption of blockchain and cryptocurrencies is it's different from country to country. So in Europe, I think it's not going super fast because you have the regulatory party a bit longer. A lot is happening in for us in Asia. We see ourselves working in this field in Asia. It's actually happening a lot in the blockchain community. But I suggest everyone actually to read this and understand into details. This is just to present how our platform actually looks. At the end, for a certificate, you can go online and verify on a blockchain. How do you verify on a blockchain? You actually get this on the phone as a screen, it's just a display, but then you can actually click on the link and actually see a transaction record on the blockchain. What do you see on the blockchain? You see when was this minted, issued, stored, where is location, and everything else. Shortly, what's the benefit of all this when we speak about the credentialing for education industry? The main reason why I personally stepped into this is I saw many fake documents in my career, many, thousands. And it's happening every day. And even in Australia today, and probably also in Europe, we issue permanent visas to applicants based on PDFs, on JPEGs. And to change PDF from Elizabeth to my name, it takes me 30 seconds. And this is it. This is the big problem, and this is the problem I explained before. So I'm not sure how the Germany was checking the nurses from Bosnia. Probably they check them different now because they learned, and we have this problem in many countries. So it's simply the trust between. I can also explain like this: if you're an institution, I'm a student, there is no more third party for the trust. Even paper can be gone. It's just a decentralized ledger. Blockchain is the trusted party. So us as a company, we're not existing really. We're just developing a platform for usage. And that's it. Thank you very much. Questions?
Thank you so much, Tony. What an art to put it in a point, such a short time. And if you do a degree, a bachelor, master degree, you can be very proud about it. And your parents and grandparents, you don't want to end up just with something that another one.
Actually, most of young students, if you go out and ask them, maybe we can ask, we have someone very young here, they don't want to paper.
Well, I like it.
You.
And to have it as a
You can ask.
and to have it nicely framed, of course, but on top,
Yes, yeah.
yours, of course. And what you said with visas.
Yep.
And you could go on endless with medical prescriptions and so on. Thank you so much, Tony. The floor is open. Yeah.
Yes.
Just one question. I mean, I'm also, first of all, thank you for this presentation. I learned a lot about blockchain. So, coming from the industry, my first question is, how do you make money? Do I have to subscribe to the service?
Oh, yeah, super. Very good question. Yeah, of course. I didn't have a chance. Of course, we make money. So we say we enable this platform for issuer. So education institution will have to pay for this. So subscription based. I can tell you it will be cheaper. We did the calculation of cost based on the paper or on the basic digital credentialing. So I can say on the long term, because this will keep developing in next year. We will launch this within 3 months, but the future will bring many new things. The cost of verification of one-page document within 2 years will be less than €1, under €1, stored on a blockchain and verifiable, and probably much cheaper. So I believe the cost on the long term will go into cents. Must be super cheap because of the usage on the long term. There you
go. Thank you, and I find this a very interesting subject. I want to make a sort of an appeal for paper, for the value of paper. We have the papyruses from thousands of years ago. We go to the Louvre to look at the Mona Lisa. I have, however, my media arts colleagues who work in Hong Kong who worry that their art 20 years later is obsolete because the media or the technology that reads the media is going away, and the museums in which they are exhibiting saying essentially your artwork is gone, destroyed. So this may last 20 years, but we need records for thousands, maybe longer.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yes. Actually, I didn't touch the storage area, because storage is also part of the it's developing really right now. So anything I say today, it might be a bit different, but I didn't go into details, into the tech details. So storage that we use is also decentralized storage. We already have a storage, we have a IPFS, and decentralized storage, it's simply like a blockchain. So stored on multiple computers.
True, but if it's on Adobe, not it doesn't work anymore. How many of you have tried to play some of your old computer games? Can you still play them if they are 20 years old?
Yeah.
Martin?
Oh.
Can you still play your old Monopoly on the cardboard? Yes, of course. Right?
Yes. Tony, we definitely need this technology. But I'm just thinking ahead, once you're fully commercialized, and we have Marius or Annabelle, the others coming up to the big stage in front of all the parents and all the chancellors to get their certificate. What will be the new method to give this great ritual and the great ceremony? How will you do it with your technology? To have the big party?
Oh, you have to. All I'll say is, yeah, this is cool question, but things are changing, Martin. The future is different. Things are changing. I can say this, the level of mobility, what people need today, it's very different also. In my age, I was supposed to be to live in the same town, the same job forever. And today all this is, of course, changing so much that there is simply no future in paper disc. Actually, I'll answer this something else. I know that the young generation, they want digital. I want digital, and I'm not super young. But I didn't mention this, the trust in paper in a country like South Africa. When you ask someone, you go as a recruiter. I'm also specialized recruiter. If you're a recruiter in Cape Town in South Africa, and you have someone, a candidate coming with paper, the trust level is 50%. This is the answer of all the recruiters, 50%. So if I go in Frankfurt and look for a job, and I come to a recruiter, what is the trust level in Frankfurt? Probably 95%. Yeah, same in Australia, 95. Okay, so this is the answer for this. How they solve this in South Africa, they don't know. When I first approached them 14 months ago, they said, "Wow, thank you," because they don't know what to do really. And the other thing is, this is actually very interesting now. Also, I don't know how to express this in English. It's just the level of trust and for countries. We spoke about less developed countries. So today, to come to Australia, it's super difficult if you have a Kenyan passport. For example, I have friends very smart in Kenya, but to apply for visa in Australia from Kenya or Germany, that's from Germany, processing time 1 day or 1 hour. From Kenya, maybe the same profile of person. From Kenya, can be 3 to 6 months, because they have to check. They have to check everything about you. How they check? Phone, email, phone, and it takes. And they ask embassy or consulate. This is how they do it. Yes.
I have a huge market vision. Yes, this is the German school system. I was responsible for the administration of networks, and time and again, the students lost their documents, their Abiturzeugnis, and it was extremely difficult first to find the old documents, because they have to be exactly, and then the next problem was what you addressed, that our machines, they were not able to open up documents when they were digitalized, 20-year-old documents. So you couldn't print them, and it was not possible to prove anything.
Mhm.
And you would have billions of documents. You get very rich when you take only 1 cent for that.
Yeah.
And, but I don't know how to implement that. And with the German authorities, or
Yeah.
they
It's-
execute this because it is wrong.
Yes.
This is also, I mean, it's also in Europe. European Union is it's actually a big platform. You started 4 or 5 years ago, so it's well known. It's just the adoption of blockchain, the trust in technology is going slow, and part of my job is really to make this faster.
Thank
There
you
you
so much, Tony.
Yay!
And two very short remarks. Christian Wagner and I had an intense debate here during a presentation, and Christian pointed out that the ceremonial role of paper
Oh, yes.
can't be underestimated. One thing, so it's again the magic balance.
Yeah, no, I actually, so most institutions, we do pilot testing now. So we have few universities that we do the testing, and most institutions will keep paper
Yes.
and issue digital. In some countries, they actually say but the other thing is actually very important is something else, micro-credentialing. This is kind of micro-credentialing. Micro-credentialing means not the final diploma, but many things that you have. And many institutions on the planet now, we work with India, with China, they go into high level of micro-credentialing. So in India now, it's big news over the last 6 months. They actually legalized that you can collect credits over many universities. And how they do this, how do you prove this, how do you connect this? They won't do with paper. Also, India has got trust in paper, very big problem. So it will be digitalized. Yeah.